On board the Lady Hawk, Shelley explains to Muzahi that the mermaid is actually an aboleth, a master of illusion. Muzahi, a student at the Citadel of the Raven under Manchun himself, is well aware of the powers of an aboleth. He fears Davin could be lost to them, a rather useful travel companion. 4 of the party members are on board the Lady Hawk. 2 are unconscious in their bunks, and 2 sit sipping wine at a table. Muzahi tells Shelley that it will be over 18 hours before his spells can replenish, and he can cast Dispel Magic on his comrades. Meanwhile, at Sadie's apartment basement, Davin and the mermaid concoct a plan to convert everyone in this building to Cyric worship and allow the beautiful mermaid to consume them and their knowledge, all for Cyric. Davin goes about this task with a renewed gusto. In his faith and his actions, he doesn't sleep. Before long, he has tricked the second-floor resident and the owner of the building residing in the top floors to check out the treasure in the secret stairway that leads to a magical pool. After being charmed by the mermaid, the building's owner, Earl, is convinced he should sign his building's deed over to Davin. This will ensure a steady stream of people joining Cyric through the mermaid. Davin feels ecstatic and certain he will become one of the highest level serving priests in Cyric's order. 18 hours later, and on the docks, the PCs and Shelley Amber leave the Lady Hawk. Now, out from under the Aboleth's control, they make their way to Sadie's apartment. On the way, they run into an acquaintance of Reinhardt's from Baldur's Gate, and they have them come along with them. Shelley poisons Davin and puts him to sleep with tainted wine in the upstairs room of the apartment. The group enters the basement, led by Hara and Reinhardt, who see the mermaid, but bombard it from afar with spears, javelins, and arrows. Some of the others aren't sure about killing the mermaid until a few arrows and spears land and the illusion disappears. The disgusting smelling aboleth wallows around in shallow water, and it turns and flops and splashes into a deeper pool and into the sewer system and disappears, injured but not slain. Much later, eventually Muzahi casts a Dispel Magic on Davin, and he snaps out of his charmed slavery. Still, the new owner of the apartment complex dealt while the aboleth convinced him it was his and Cyric's plan to consume people for their knowledge, much like the dream crystal catches a thought or information from the users of the spheres. A little shaken up at being charmed for the first time in his life, Davin stays in the upper apartment levels for several days. Muzahi maintains the people in the basement, waiting for the mermaid to come back. Muzahi also hopes to strike a deal with the aboleth. The rest of the group go to the Lady Hawk, as it's been nearly 3 days since they stayed there. The ship is not in its berth, and the dock workers say it left this morning for Velen. While on the docks, the party hears moaning coming from a barrel covered in seaweed, floating off the docks. The party opens the crate, and it turns out to be a sea elf packed within. Thanking the party profusely for rescuing him in broken common, he begs for water and says that he is an aquarium piece of Pasha Rabta, hunted and stolen from his home sea. The party quickly moves the elf to the apartment. They ensure his chains are secure, and Davin guards him, while the others go to get an audience with Pasha Rabta. Shelley is appalled at the elf's treatment and decides the PCs are truly evil aligned and probably did kill Carl. Eventually, the PCs gain an audience with Pasha Rabta. They make a deal with him to bring his prized aquarium piece back, and they do this without any other encounters. The Pasha is so grateful he invites them to his rooftop oasis. Stay here as long as your visit to Calimport lasts, he tells them.